So tea and coffee will be served, but before that happens, I'd just like to pass over the time to the acting CEO of the Best Leadership Academy, Peter Cordtz.
I've just made Sandra nervous because I'm not on the run sheet as having a speech, but it's just some notes so I don't miss anybody. Talo whalawa, kia ora tātou. Just as Chris went for the greetings that of the countries he'd been to, I generally just reach for the ones that are coursing through my veins, and those are the two. I'm just falls to me, I guess, to all the main thank yous have been said. To wrap up with a few, I guess, housekeeping thank yous. Sorry, Lane, you can't hear me. Mr. Vince back there. I'm not dancing. I'm not telling you that much right now. All right. And I'm not going to repeat all the thank yous other than to say again, whawhetai tele lava. Thank you very much to our sponsors for your investment in Pacific leadership. Without you, it doesn't work. Thank you to Chris again for that inspiring and insightful speech, and it's not often. I was just saying to a couple of people around dinner that vulnerability is held up as a trait of leadership that should be, I guess, understood and valued. And Chris, particularly vulnerable. I did warn him that Mark Powell and Nigel Morrison were here tonight, and there was no heckling, but made himself vulnerable in front of a couple of CEO colleagues. Thank you also to our mentors who gave that most precious gift of all, your time. And I guess, so I was here at this event last year as a mentor, and I can tell you that Rhonda, your husband, might not be, he might be okay just yet, and Brandon, you might be off the hook. 18 months after my own mentoring relationship formally ended, so Sefo, Teo and I still communicate regularly. Only in the last month or so have I helped him recut a CV. He's in Australia these days. And Whiri Simona knows him well from the DHB. So it's, I guess these relationships do carry on, including those of your besties, as I've heard a few times tonight. I know, talking to some of the original cohort, they still meet regularly. And I think one of the things that with the foundation and the academy we're increasingly aware we need to do is help facilitate some of that ongoing contact that you have. So I'm going to get to the last of these thank yous. Actually, I would like to acknowledge Best Pasifika Institute of Education. I know that they are kind of the elephant in the room, and the teams at the back there. And the Academy and the Leadership Foundation are separate entities that sit within the under the Best umbrella, but they are separate. I was fortunate earlier this year to work briefly on a project with Director of Strategic Development Phil Vortia, who's here as well. That will see very soon Best's capability rolling out training in the Pacific region. It's not part of their core business, but I've heard Phil talk about it as one of Best's labours of love. Alongside Best People, an employment placement service that is about making sure that qualifications aren't the end game. It's vocational outcomes for their students. But leadership is another one of those labours of love that Best Pacific Institute of Education has continued to support, and I'm privileged now to be part of helping them take stock of these first 4 years and build on that legacy to make sure that we continue to add value to a lot of Pacific leaders, your employers, and the Pacific community at large. So that was the last plug, I promise. It was the, I guess the last little couple of thank yous. Part of my role as acting CE has been to ensure continuity for the two active cohorts, this group who've just completed their mentoring and the group that are going through their formal coursework now with our facilitators. But the real continuity has come from Malia McLeod, who has been in the engine room since the very first cohort. So I did want to acknowledge Malia. It's her passion and drive that ensures that events like this continue to deliver in the way that they do. And she's ably supported tonight by Katia Vershanina. My Russian's not that flash. So with your support, I'd like to show them a vote of thanks. And finally, and it is finally, our MC, Sandra Kailahi, who has shown us again that she is the consummate pro, as we all know, but she's also serves this organisation, as you've heard, as a trustee of the Best Pasifika Leadership Foundation, along with Meg Potasi, who's here as the chair. And again, this continuing to join these dots and create an alumni of mentors, of students and supporters is a big part of what the foundation will be about moving forward. So with that, and as I invite Sandra to take back over again, I'd like you to join me in thanking her for her efforts tonight.
It's very kind. Thank you, Peter.